Howdy everybody. Apart from avoiding a mishap like the one in the photo here, what are some of the reasons that you might want to know the slope of your land? There's a couple big ones. For example, if you're planning on building a structure, you might want to know what the slope of the land is first so you can determine if you need to bring some machinery up to flatten it out, because in order to build a structure you need to flatten it. The same kind of logic is true if you're going to do any kind of earthworks, landscaping, or if you're going to build swales, if you're going to have terraces on your land, if you're going to build a water feature on your land, for example a pond. You want to know what the slope of the land is because you want to make sure that what they call the key for the pond, the thing that really holds the water there, that's on the lower side of the slope so that you're blocking the pressure that's coming from the water. So there's many reasons that you would want to know the slope of your land. And as I said in the last video, I'm going to show you probably the easiest and least expensive way to do it. No, you don't have to get an engineer to tell you what the slope of your land is. No, you don't have to look at some kind of special maps that are going to tell you that. You could do it yourself and you can do it relatively quickly. And so what we have here are two stakes. And these stakes are exactly 100 inches apart. Now, it's very important that you use the same units of measurement for this. I'm using inches because it's very convenient. 100 inches gives me a nice lay here. And you can see there is a slope. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this line and we're going to stretch it out. Put that down there. Take this stake out. I know where it belongs. I'm going to tie the line right down here at the bottom because we want the base to be right on the ground. Basically all we have to do is wind it around there a few times because we're going to put it back in the ground. Now we'll hold it. This is at ground level. Now we're going to come here. This is what is called a line level. You can buy one of these usually for about $2. So that's why I said this is an inexpensive way of doing this. So now we're going to move the string taut. And I'm just going to wind this around here a couple times to hold it. Now I'm going to put the line level right in the middle. Okay, Lena's going to come here and show you the bubble. This is not level. Okay, see the bubble's right over here, and we want the bubble to be in the middle. So that means that we have to move our line up a little bit higher. Okay, so now it's level. Now the 100 inches of line that we have here is called the run. And now we're going to measure what is called the rise. It's going to be right here where I'm holding this string. We're going to measure the rise. And remember, we're using inches. This only works if you use the same units. The stake doesn't have to be even with the ground. Okay, and so it's 14 inches and it's level. So that means that this is a 14% drop, because our run is 100 inches and percent is based upon 100. And so whatever the rise is, that defines the percent of the drop. When it says that you should not build swales if the slope of your land is more than 15%, well, this is almost 15%. And this doesn't seem like it has a lot of rise to it, but it does. You can see here where we had our stake, and now Lena's quite a bit down, but you can see the slope is coming down. Coming down. Now, what if you wanted to know the slope from that post up there all the way down to where Lena's standing right now? You simply measure another 100 inches and take another measurement, measure another 100 inches, take another measurement. Looks like the slope isn't going quite as deep in the next 100 inches. Let's say that that is only 12% drop. And then down here, let's say it's 15. Well, then you take the average of that, you add the three together and divide by 3. And that gives you the average slope going from that point down to here. The reason that I did it with short distance is because that's the easiest way to do it. This is a good example of what a 14% slope actually looks like. It doesn't look to the eye like it's that steep. But if you're trying to hold water in like a swale, that water is going to put pressure on the berm, the lower part of the swale, and if you get a big rainstorm, it can blow out the swale, and then you wind up with an erosion event. So you don't want that. We're going to do another one. Now we've moved to a different spot. We've done the same thing. Remember that the line has to be in touch with the ground at the top one. And then down here it doesn't have to be. So the run again is 100 inches. And now we're going to measure the rise because we've determined where it's level.
Oh, it's like 23.
Yeah, the rise is 23. So this is a 23% slope. This 100 inches is 23%. So you wouldn't be able to build a swale here because it's above 15. But you can build terraces. If you can't build a swale, you can always do something different. So Lena is going to give a view of how this slope is going all the way down the hill. And you can see that it's a pretty steep slope going down. It might be more than 23% as you get a little bit lower. If you look down where the shack is, where we store stuff, we're actually higher than the roof. That gives you a sense of the slopes. So I hope that this answers questions about how do you get out here and actually do the work. There are certain instances where you have to hire somebody to come and do the work. They're an expert, they're a craftsman or craftswoman, and you have to go in that direction. But this is not one of them. To determine the slope of your land, you can do this yourself. So with that, I'll end the video here. Thank you very much for watching.